One of the things that happens in retreat is a huge part of you dies and you leave it there. And it's not a bad thing. It's like, thank goodness. Look it off. How crazy is it to do a 3-year retreat? I don't think it's very crazy at all. I think it's pretty not crazy. In November of 2021, Trungpa Rinpoche wrote to me and said, now is a good time to start planning for another 3-year retreat. You and Pema, Ani Pema children, should make the plan for another 3-year retreat. And so our plan is to begin the next phase of the retreat in the fall of 2024. Trungpa Rinpoche is very committed to this retreat as well. Pema Chodron, who is really longing to see this retreat begin and continued, she was the fundraiser who created the building for us. This is why we have a Sopa Choling retreat building. She's in long retreat now, right at the moment, but she's given instructions to her secretary that whenever I write something about the 3-year retreat, any updates, interrupt my retreat, she said. I want to know. So we have her blessing, her longing, her wish, and Trungpa Rinpoche's as well. It would be good if we had some more people who wanted to jump into the pool with us. A good percentage of the training, the teaching that you get is interaction with your fellow retreatants. You're all in this big ship together. Everybody has their reactions to the fact of being so-called locked in, although people can leave at any point. But we do close the gates. We say, now you're sealed in. And that's for your own mental protection. A lot of the training comes from interacting with people. You prepare meals together, you set up shrines together, you do feasts together, and people have different skills and different neuroses. So we all have to live together with all of this. What I'm hearing from people who are doing the retreat now is that they suddenly had a longing to do it, or they have been longing to do this kind of retreat for many years and now decided at age 70 something, now or never. Let me do it now, because who knows? And for myself, it came about when some friends of mine were on their way to the group that took place just before the group that I was in. Susan and Jerry coming into retreat. And I don't even remember how many years ago that was when they were starting their retreat. They stayed at my house and we had a goodbye party for them and for the other people who were coming through Halifax and coming up here to retreat. And that night after they left, I knew I really wanted to come so badly that it just broke my heart I wasn't coming. So I said, see, I told you I cry easily. So I said, I have to do this. This is kind of one of those things that I hope I'll live long enough to do this. That's what I thought. I never had a thought about it one way or another until that moment. So it has a sense of you either have some kind of longing that's been there for a long time and you want to fulfill it, or it's a sudden longing that occurs to you. We have this opportunity to spend 10 months in retreat, and then we go home and we're met with our life. And then we go back into retreat and we go home and we're met with our life again. And each time the me that's meeting the life is a little altered, a little bit different. Certain neurotic patterns and belief systems seem to fade away without you noticing. There's no deconstructing that you are aware of. But at some point you go, I don't remember how to act in this situation. Or every time I did this, I thought this, but now I don't think that anymore. It happens in such a deep way with these many hours and months of practicing and working and being supported by the presence of other people, that these changes, these falling away of certain patterns and belief systems, you don't notice it until the situation arises that you do notice it and you have no idea when this happened. There's no way to know. There's no need to know. It's just that it did. Phase 1, I think the slogan for that comes from Gampopa, who says, without Guru devotion, there is no Mahamudra. The first 6 months of the retreat are all Guru Yoga practices, different ones. And even after all of those months of Guru Yoga, only then we begin the Mahamudra practice. So this is a long Mahamudra practice, and people definitely have some experience with this. It's 3 months of Mahamudra practice. So then we take a break, and then we come back, and you go home, and you look around at David Burns said, "Is this my beautiful house? Is this my beautiful family?" Anyway, everything looks so new and different, and it's really you that is. Then we come back and we do some very deep practices with Vajrayogini, inner secret and very secret. We do some practice with Chakrasamvara, and same text that the Sangha uses, but we have different visualizations in it. It's a much more inner mandala practice. Finally, we come to the last year of the retreat, the last phase of the retreat, which is the longest. And we will do all of the 6 dharmas, all 6 dharmas. And then we do a practice called Gyawa Gyamso, and finish up with the practice that we've been doing all along every single day. It's a Mahakala sadhana, but the last part of the retreat. We do this protector practice as a drupchen, and we do every day this. And so we leave with this tremendous protection for the rest to seal our retreat. So that's the journey. There is the sense that you left something behind, something that you don't need. You don't need it. You don't even want it. You don't know what it is. You can't actually articulate. And I think that grows each time you come out of the retreat. And I think that's one of the really wonderful things about going into retreat, coming out of retreat, spending the year out of retreat, really getting, and then seeing how you get, I don't know I want to say sucked in, but maybe that's too hard, but you find yourself getting pulled into the world that you left behind, that when you came back looked so strange to you. But now it doesn't feel so strange because you're starting to flow with it again. And then you catch yourself, and then you go back into retreat, and the same thing happens again. But each of those 3 times, and especially the last time, I think there is some kind of, if we can say permanent, but there's some kind of bite that's been taken out of your ego, your self-centeredness, your self-importance. Something's gone, and you don't want it back. You really don't want it back. And it's pretty kind of stays gone as far as I can tell. It would be good if you applied by September 2023, particularly if you are in need of financial support. That's when you would need to apply for the retreat and fill out a form for financial support. Otherwise, the empowerments will take place at Sopa Choling at Gampo Abbey next spring, probably late May, June. We don't have dates yet. The actual retreat itself will begin in September 2024.